chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
Let's own it. Let's own it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
He's number one right now. Number one. This is his generation. This is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Floyd Mayweather has finally broken his silence, unveiling plans for a return in 2026. He confirmed that his first spotlight will come this year, stepping into the ring with Mike Tyson in a fight the world can't stop talking about, though he stressed it will only be an exhibition. What truly turned heads was his revelation that beyond Tyson, he's gearing up for a professional showdown, possibly with Terence Crawford. Mayweather revealed that talks are underway for a sanctioned fight, making it clear that he and his team are pushing hard to bring this comeback to life.
Everything is going great. I feel good. Working hard each and every day. And I can't wait for 2026.
When talks of dream fights spark in boxing, one name always finds its way to the center: Floyd Mayweather. Even in retirement, his shadow looms large over the sport, and debates about whether he could outshine today's champions refuse to fade. Not long ago, Robert Garcia delivered a sobering reality check on the idea of Mayweather clashing with Terence Crawford. Garcia pointed out that while Mayweather's career stands as a monument of unmatched success, he never achieved what Crawford and Manny Pacquiao did, claiming undisputed glory. Yet Garcia confessed that his admiration for Mayweather's mastery and aura still makes him lean toward Floyd if such a fantasy ever came alive.
Doesn't need it anymore.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions undisputed, is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? And not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. There's still greats out there. There's still, his era or last era, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. I think he's, already accomplished more than Pacquiao was 8 divisions. So we could argue there because Pacquiao was, 8 division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5 division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
Robert Garcia wasted no time stressing the rare achievements that make Crawford stand apart. Crawford accomplished what Mayweather never did, bringing every belt in a division under one name. Manny Pacquiao, too, carved his legend across weight classes with undisputed recognition. Garcia noted this as the one place where Floyd's record feels unfinished. Mayweather dismantled rivals, kept his zero intact, and built a resume of legendary triumphs. Yet undisputed glory stayed just beyond reach. For Garcia, that takes nothing away from Floyd's greatness. Instead, it shines a light on why Crawford belongs among boxing's most complete fighters. Even while praising Crawford's legacy, Garcia leaned on his years inside the game to explain why he'd still pick Floyd. He insisted Floyd's defense, timing, and ring IQ lived on a level few could ever touch.
Probably still pick Mayweather. Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. There definitely he is.
With all that said, what can you ultimately say about what occurred and what we saw Saturday night?
It was a great event, great turnout, 70,000 plus people. Gate was fucking insane from what I understand. That's good for boxing, man. Good for boxing, good for all the younger fighters. All this new things going on. I think it's going to be a positive thing for all the younger fighters.
Adito highlighted that Floyd Mayweather existed in 2 unforgettable versions, each legendary in its own right. First came Pretty Boy Floyd, the fearless young warrior who overwhelmed opponents with blistering speed, relentless aggression, and crisp combinations. Then emerged Money Mayweather, the shrewd businessman, the defensive maestro, the pay-per-view king who built boxing's grandest empire. Olau described Floyd as a mastermind who shaped not only his fighting craft, but also his identity, ensuring both personas carried a unique aura. Pretty Boy Floyd won hearts by taking chances and delivering knockouts. Meanwhile, Money Mayweather mesmerized crowds with strategy, precision, and the power to transform fights into global events. Together, these two sides of Floyd's journey etched a legacy few can equal, making him more than a fighter, an architect of boxing's modern empire.
I'm sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s, and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking. I watch the whole fucking episodes, and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then. And I get it. I get it. Right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm going to work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm going to work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fight, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right? In terms of the fights that brought all the eyeballs onto him, Oscar De La Hoya fights, you know what I mean? That Pretty Boy Floyd, obviously, look, Diego Corrales is probably the best performance really from Pretty Boy Floyd, right? Corrales, I think, was unbeaten at the time, and look what he did to him. But Money Floyd brought the eyeballs on. That's when he started being controversial. Genius outside the ring in terms of marketing, genius inside the ring in terms of defensively, offensively as well. People don't give him as much credit offensively.
Zab Judah, who once shared the ring with Floyd, didn't hesitate to crown Terence Crawford as the king of this generation. He reminded everyone that every era has its chosen star, and right now, Crawford carries that flame. Judah recalled how Canelo Alvarez once claimed Crawford might even surpass Floyd, and he stressed those words should never be taken lightly. For Judah, Crawford has already proven he can conquer elite opponents across multiple divisions with a style so complete that no one has managed to crack the code. In saying this, Judah paid respect to Floyd's legacy while making it clear that today's moment belongs to Crawford. He admitted that comparisons across eras will always exist, but emphasized that Crawford has earned the right to be celebrated as the #1 fighter of this generation.
Right now, number one, this is his generation, this is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Just seen in the press conference, Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What did you think?
He's not lying. He fought him. He should know. How can somebody tell somebody that fought both of these guys, he know.
Yeah.
If anybody would know, Canelo would know.
What do you think's next for both?
I don't know.
Too early? You'd like to see a rematch?
Not a rematch. Rematches always sound good. But in a rematch, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Matter of fact, in a rematch, I'm predicting stoppage earlier.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Breadman Edwards offered a very different perspective, firmly shutting down the talk of Floyd Mayweather against Terence Crawford. He argued that such a matchup feels unnatural and unnecessary, as Crawford deserves to bask in his current glory without constant comparisons to legends of the past. Edwards suggested that if Floyd truly wanted a crossover spectacle, a clash with Roy Jones Jr. would make far more sense because of the star power and the intrigue it could spark. In his view, Crawford is in his prime and should be honored for what he is achieving now, rather than pulled into endless fantasy debates. Edwards emphasized that matching him with Floyd not only diminishes Bud's moment, but also overshadows the weight of his accomplishments. For him, boxing must move beyond impossible dream fights and allow Crawford to shine as the symbol of greatness in his own era.
See, never gonna get this fight, unfortunately. Just two different generations. And I'm not necessarily asking you who would win, but if Floyd and Crawford were to cross paths prime for prime, would you just put that as a, yeah, that's 50-50, man? I don't know. Or are you just like, I might still give the edge to Floyd?
Man, I don't really want to compare them right now, Hans, if we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy. You
Mm.
know what I mean? And
Yep.
they competitive guys. Next thing you know, Bud and Floyd to be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. It's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing like and make up something just to. I got my opinion on how the fights would go, and but I don't. I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. Unfortunately, they didn't fight. They could have they kind of two different eras though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Buzz a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
Sean Porter weighed in on the shocking announcement of Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson, describing it more like a street fight than a true boxing contest. He explained that genuine tension lingers between Floyd and Mike, with both men holding years of resentment toward each other. Porter suggested that this animosity could turn the fight deeply personal, pushing it beyond the realm of skill and strategy. Because of that, he questioned whether boxing authorities would ever sanction such a matchup in official form. In his eyes, the spectacle might spark global buzz, but it also risks crossing lines the sport would rather protect. For Porter, the danger of chaos outweighs the excitement, leaving him doubtful the fight could happen in a proper ring. Several analysts echoed the concern, voicing frustration over the rise of exhibition bouts featuring legends like Floyd, Mike Tyson, and even Jake Paul. They argued these shows feel less about real boxing and more about hype built on famous names.
You don't see this one coming unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Sean?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like it makes sense for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in the ring situation. And so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened. And then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than this.
Yeah, you're not kidding, right? Obviously we watched Mike Sean in November against Jake Paul. I think clearly those guys like each other. Floyd and Mike, not so much. Obviously, there's been some tension there over the years. Do you think they go in there despite the fact that this is an exhibition fight? I mean, do they go in there and do they both try and take each other out?
I don't know what that fight looks like. And, that kind of was my biggest apprehension with coming on with you guys today. It was like, how do you analyze what a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when Floyd got in the ring with Big Show. We already know, like we know now more than we've ever known before that the WWE is fake. It's kind of like acceptable, but it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring. It wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that. I mean, I guess I'll have to do what I did once before with Mike and Jake, and I'm gonna go on record for saying this doesn't happen.
You think it falls apart sometime before.
This doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. I don't know how you can make this one make sense.
And to your point, they may have it, but if they have it, they haven't said it yet. There's no date for the fight, no location that's been announced. So,
right.
Many observed that fans never truly embraced the spectacle of Jake Paul's fights, questioning why boxing keeps leaning on retired legends instead of building up the stars of today. To them, it reflects a weakness within the current generation of fighters who have struggled to command mainstream attention on their own. Analysts warn that if this trend continues, the sport may grow too dependent on nostalgia, drifting further away from its foundation of genuine, competitive boxing.
Stuff like this? No, I didn't like the Jake-Mike fight. I told you guys that. I didn't think Mike should have been fighting then. I don't think he should be fighting now. I don't like the fact that Jake and Gervonta are fighting when Gervonta is a sitting champion. At least these two are retired. But this is an indication, and I've said this over and over, of where boxing is. That this will probably have a ton of intrigue, but it's almost like the WWE rolling out Stone Cold Steve Austin or rest in peace Hulk Hogan whenever they need a big time pop and whenever they need to get the crowd energized because their current stars just aren't hitting the same. This is what boxing feels like right now. Boxing feels like Antiques Roadshow. Honestly, this kind of stuff, that's what it feels like. And again, it's the spectacle, it's the entertainment value, and it is the era of the unpredictable, as Mike says there, but it's not good. I can tell you that. It is not good. This is why we need people like Turkey Al-Sheikh, Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, hell, Dana White to come into boxing and fix this shit, because stuff like this and Jake and Gervonta is kind of the norm now. Mike says, I still can't believe Floyd really wants to do this. He added, it's going to be detrimental to his health, but he wants to do it, so it's signed and it's happening. It's not even believable to hear Mike talk like that now. Because yes, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, he'd be right. But we saw Mike struggle to walk into the ring versus Jake. And yeah, Mike was dangerous enough for Jake not engage with him, but Jake not engaging with him just circled and jabbed his way to the ending of an exhibition where both guys get their hand raised, and we all feel like, yeah, that wasn't a fight, because clearly Mike is not the same, and clearly Jake did not want to take that extra step to try to actually put him away.
Joe Rogan shared his take by zeroing in on the personal tension between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson. In Rogan's view, Floyd has carried dislike for Mike since the early days, and that friction could spill over if they ever stepped into the ring. He suggested that Floyd's game plan might not be the usual defensive showcase fans have grown used to. Instead, Rogan speculated that Floyd could chase a knockout, aiming to finally settle the grudge. Though Floyd was never known for knockouts late in his career, Rogan stressed that raw animosity can shift everything. The thought of Floyd abandoning caution just to prove a point against Mike is what makes this fantasy so fascinating, even if it never actually happens.
So they're not trying to knock each other out?
No, well, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather don't like each other. They have not liked each other forever.
Tyson and Mayweather.
Yes.
But they like
Mike Tyson and Mayweather don't like each other.
Huh.
If there's a fight that might be real, like where Mike Tyson might say, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out, or I'm going to try to knock this motherfucker out.
It would be Floyd? They wouldn't fight.
Yeah, because if you look at like the Jake Paul fight, no disrespect, and if you look at the Roy Jones fight, no disrespect.
Yeah.
They look like they were sparring.
Yeah.
Right? It looked like there was agreements made.
Yeah.
Working. I do not know if Mike would honor any of those agreements. Really? If there was a moment
They've
to
had
crack.
beef for years.
Yeah. If there was a moment to really... Could he hit him? I mean, that little motherfucker can move still. At 50 years old, he's so slick.
Yep.
He's still in shape. He's still fit.
They're both old as fuck.
Old
man.
as fuck.
But this is the boxing.
How old is Mayweather?
67.
Dude, Bernard
49?
Hopkins was
49.
still at the best in the world at 50.
Yep.
I mean, that's incredible.
That doesn't mean shit, though. With this. Because he
Kentucky's
was
got-
active fighting contenders.
Kentucky's
You're
got
talking about
Gomez on the
retired
ground.
guys. You're talking about two retired guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting the
that's
exhibition.
so
It's just
weird.
money grabs.
It's so weird,
Yeah, it is weird. It's money grabs. I don't like it, but it's fun. You know, it's something to watch.
I'll hate on it, but I'll tune in.
Yeah, I'll tune in. It's but it's not really fighting.
So Jake Paul's not
entertainment.
going to actually be trying to knock out Gervonta Davis. You know?
There's a reason it
If I
says
had to
exhibition.
guess, If I had to guess, yeah. The
Jake's-
event itself would be a world-class venue and be presented to a global audience with new in-ring technology elements that will reshape how boxing is presented and scoring is achieved for years to come. What does that mean?
That shit has Abu Dhabi written all over
What
it.
does that mean? This is Tyson versus Mayweather. What does that mean? Where are they doing that? Are they doing that in Saudi Arabia?
But of course.
But of course.
Because they have all the money.
My friend.
And they just go, what do
Yeah.
you want to see? I'd always like to see Floyd Tyson.
Who wants to fight an alligator?
Ariel Helwani wrapped up the conversation with a grounded take, explaining that the Floyd versus Mike showdown is unlikely to ever happen in official form. He noted that most insiders see it as nothing more than an exhibition built for spectacle and money. More importantly, Helwani pointed out that many believe it could serve as a warm-up for Floyd's next true fight, potentially against Terence Crawford in a professional ring. By casting the Mike bout as little more than a sideshow, Helwani shifted the spotlight back to the bigger story, Floyd's possible return to sanctioned competition. In his eyes, the exhibition is simply a placeholder meant to stir excitement, while talks for a Crawford fight continue to unfold.
And Mayweather has been out of the spotlight for a lot longer now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's interest in that.
Does it happen, GC?
No. No. Which has more of a chance of happening, Connor? White House card or
White House card seems to be happening. I got to eat my crow on that one. It's tough. Tyson Floyd,
no chance.
Also, even if it does happen, it's just like, who really cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's not them at their highest level. It's an exhibition. Everybody will clown on it when it eventually does happen.
There is a way that exhibitions can be fun. Tyson versus Roy Jones was actually like the best version of that, right? An exhibition that like I thought was exciting, delivered for the fans, but also that was so long ago for Mike Tyson. The version that we saw
like
against
early
Jake Paul-
50s.
Yeah, the version that we saw against Jake Paul just can't
Against
do it
the
anymore.
guy around his size, too. Floyd Mayweather is not that.
Roy's pretty small, but
So
no, not as small as Floyd though.
Yeah, Roy fought at heavyweight at one time.
Yeah, Floyd is very small.
Mike Roy was super interesting. It was in the very kind of early stages of the pandemic.
Yeah,
8 months in, but we were still kind of dark and depressed at that point. And like Tyson hadn't fought. It was nostalgic. It was Roy. Okay, so I got the appeal. I got the appeal of Jake because he was so much younger and he's a novice compared to Tyson. I don't know. Okay, now what's the appeal here? You know what I mean? What's the
two of the greatest boxers ever to fight each other.
Just I feel like we just saw that with Tyson and Roy. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the same hook.
I feel like Tyson and Roy didn't have the same like vast reach that
was a
Jake
big deal.
Paul versus.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next.